Hello and thank you for considering beginner guitar lessons taught by myself, Paul Grano, here at udemy.com. A little about me, I'm Welsh, I live in the Vale of Glamorgan, South Wales, UK. I've been studying, playing, directing, recording and teaching guitar since 1974. During my journey into music, I've created a lot of useful resources that I've used to teach thousands of people music theory and guitar. I specialise in contemporary music such as rock, blues, jazz, country pop, reggae and folk guitar styles. I teach rhythm, lead and bass guitar as well as music theory for guitarists. How can I help you? So if you or someone you care about are looking for a step-by-step, easy to follow, easy to use online guitar course that will walk you through the essential elements of music theory and the practical demonstration and application of guitar play, then please watch the following preview of the beginner guitar course that will give you a snapshot of the 5 key sections. In this lecture, we're going to look at how to study guitar. For some, the difficulty when learning guitar is learning how to best study. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to look first of all at the top here. This is called the head, and the head has the headstock, which is the different machine heads. Always play, by the way, when you move the machine head. So obviously, if you're in doubt, as I say, get it really low, and then what you do is basically keep tuning until you can hear it. So if you're not sure, go back down and you get that so you can hear the sound. So you keep going until they're actually matched. Okay, so when we're thinking about the notes on the guitar, the melody, if you like, the single notes that we play, it's important to understand as guitarists that we have 12 different sounding notes. We have E, on the first fret we have an F, play that with me, then we've got F sharp, then we have a G, then we have... What we're going to finish with in this particular session is we're going to learn the notes up to the, in most cases, in all but one string up to the 5th fret. Okay, what we're going to do now is discover that guitar chords are used by all guitarists in some shape or form. Now a guitar chord is basically 2 notes up to 7 notes played together. You've got to learn to form the chords, so you've got to get your fingers to the correct places. I'm going to play all 6. I'm going to count 4 and I'm going to play and let it ring for 4. Like this. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll stop. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the 4th beat and we're going to actually split it in half. Make the music a little bit more interesting. Now, the first part of the 4th beat, play down. The second part of the 4th beat, you play up. And we get a total different sound. Okay, so if a power chord is made up of 2 notes, what are the notes? Well, basically a power chord will use an A note, and then it'll find what the 5th note is from the scale. We'll be learning these a little later. But if you took A, B, C, D and E, so you would play an E note with the A. So an A power chord is made up of an A and an E note. We're going to look at what is rhythm in this particular lesson, have some examples. So rhythm is sound and it's silence and the length of the sound or the silence. So basically for rhythm guitar, it's about playing and resting sound over a set duration. So here we go. Here's the 5 notes that we talked about: the semi-breve, the minim, the crotchet, the quaver, and the semi-quaver. What we're going to do is look at each of these particular notes and play some exercises where we... Okay, what we're going to do now is look at the rhythm chart, because rhythm charts are very much part of our guitar life. In this particular lesson, we're going to look at 27 different rhythms. The rhythms are all based on 4 beats to a bar. We go for 4 bars, so enjoy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're going to do in this particular lesson is look at chord progressions. And a chord progression, basically, as we looked at before in step 1, is where you move from chord to chord. But we're going to use basically a group of chords. I'm going to show you some popular chord progressions that we base our songs on. So we're going to look at 5 popular chord progressions in 3 different scales. So what I mean is we're going to look at the chords in the C scale, and I played those earlier, and what you find here is C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and that's the 7. So what we're going to do is think about the chord progressions. Now, songs, when we come to create songs, we take certain chords from the scale and we play them in a particular order. So you'll find that there are 5 different types of chord progressions that are pretty popular among songs, and you'll hear sort of songs using these going forward. So the first one is a 1-4-5. Okay, in this particular lecture we're going to introduce the topic guitar music theme, but what I want to do is to introduce the essentials that will give you the opportunity to not only play other people's music but to create your own. Looking at the screen, we'll see C major triads. So that's our goal for the next couple of lectures, to work out in fact what a triad is, and in fact work out what a C major scale is and where it come from and the notes that we'll find in there and so on. So here's our first question. So what exactly dictates the notes that we play on our guitars? So what we're going to do is find out how it all works. Okay, so the chromatic scale is where we begin our journey today. Okay, so the purpose of the chromatic scale is to offer us all of the notes that all the scales will draw from. So let's have a look at the screen here. We start off with the first note. We're just going to say C chromatic scale in this particular case. So it's the C is the first. The second note available to us is a C sharp or a D flat. Now C sharp D flat is what we call an enharmonic note. It's a black note on a keyboard. And we have the D note, D sharp or E flat. Okay, so looking at these notes, you'll notice you go from a B to a C and from an E to an F. Why is there no B sharp or E sharp? Well, it's all down to the piano keyboard. Now the piano keyboard or organ keyboard has a set pattern that it works to. Okay, in this particular lecture we're going to continue our look at how to create major scales using the chromatic scale. Okay, so from the previous lecture we understand that we have a major scale template which we can use across all 12 different major scale options. 2-2-1, 2-2-2-1. So we just plugged that into the last lecture where we created the C major scale, which produced the notes C, D, E, F, G, A and B. This particular time we're going to look at the G major scale. So let's have a look what happens this time. So we have the G and 2 from a G, an A, 2 from an A, which of course is the B. So here, recap so far, we understand that we have the chromatic scale and it has 12 notes. We understand that the major scale template has 2-2-1, 2-2-2-1 and is applied to the chromatic scale to produce a unique 7-note scale. Here's a question for you to consider. Now that we have the 7 notes in any given major scale, what can we actually do with these notes? Okay, so hopefully you have the same answer as what I'm going to give. Well, there's actually two things that we can do. Okay, so many thanks for taking the time to view this course today. If you find sections 1, getting started with your guitar, sections 2, looking at guitar chords, section 3, reading and playing guitar rhythm, section 4, chord progressions, and section 5, essential music theory toolkit is something that you will benefit from, then I look forward to getting to know you inside of the course, and I trust that together we'll be able to get you to where you want to go as a guitarist. Bye bye for now.